Hello, boys and girls. Haven't done a YouTube video in a while. Um, Thought I might as well do another one again of my generator. Not that I haven't done like 10,000 already, but it's just what it is. As you can see, I've got it all torn apart. I had my first real issue with it, and it started out with just surging. It's got 154.9 hours, 155. Hasn't had a whole lot of use. I've kept it, I run it about every 2 weeks, loaded up everything, kept the carb clean. But I started having surging issues, and they would reside or go away if I, put the choke on. So I was like, okay, that just means there's carb is gummed up or something stuck in it. So took it apart, cleaned it, and it didn't even need it really. Honestly, the first time I took it apart, it was literally this clean. There was nothing in it. So I thought, well, that's strange. I cleaned it anyway, put it back together, and it ran basically the same. And it steadily got worse. One of the things I noticed, and I hadn't been really keeping track, or noticed it because it was gradual, that the fuel shut off. Well, what would be right here? Where's that panel? It's over here. The little fuel shut off, ignition, yada yada yada. Here was getting quite stiff, like really hard to turn. And I thought, okay, well, seals are probably not handling ethanol very well. And I don't think I have a piece here. I took it apart. And there's one. And what I found was small bits of rubber stuck in the inlet to the carburetor. You can see that. It's kind of like a brownish orange color. So this basically figured out that the O-rings inside of this thing had deteriorated and they've come apart. And it's riveted together, so can't just go to your hardware store and buy some O-rings to put in it. And the searching that I've done on WEN's website, they don't show that for the 56200i. So let's see if I find another one, maybe a newer model that may cross over, or I'll just put my own in there. But something else I found when I started tracing things, and if you have one of these, you're probably going to want to do this. And I didn't know this was here because I'd never had it apart. Let's see if I can get in here. How's you guys, giving you guys, like vertigo or whatever. All right. The thing that it won't focus on, right there, that's the inlet to the carburetor where the hose went on. When I pulled the hose off, I was like, hey, what is this? White something, stuck on there. What the heck is that? And I kind of picked at it and it moved. It's like, whoa. Some, WEN generator super secret voodoo stuff going on here or something, So I can get a better angle so you guys can actually see when it comes. See it popped out. Nah, probably not. I suck at this. Here, just look at this hose real close for a minute. Yeah, okay. Barely see it. All right, I'm going to pause this and not suck at my job so much. I'm just going to pull this thing out and you can see it. Okay, got it. So you can look and see there. Yeah, a little hoolie sticking out there. Right there. So if you get your little fingers in there and pull this thing out without using too many cuss words. There we go. Sorry this is taking so long, but you'll get over it. There is an extremely small screen filter. And when I pulled it out, it was absolutely packed with chunks of rubber from that valve. So fuel was not flowing hardly at all. So what it came down to was an issue with the carburetor. It was a couple of things. So I took it out, cleaned it, and I temporarily put in a little shutoff valve for testing. And I noticed the fuel flow out of the tank was not what I expected, or not what it should be. So I started to investigate some more, and see if I can. Oh, there we go. What I found on the fuel tank, there's another screen. What did I do with my screwdriver? Oh, I dropped it. Okay. Check this out. And this took a little bit of doing. This is underneath the hose that goes on the tank, and you wouldn't know it was there unless I didn't know. I'd never taken the hose off the tank. I'd never taken it apart this far. See if we can hear. Don't explode. All right, that's not going to work. Maybe just barely see it. Anyway, one of the other things. You see all the little bright freckle things in there? I discovered that my tank was full of extremely fine, what looks to be metal shavings. And I'm not so sure if those were in there from the factory. I've had this thing for a couple, 2-3 years, so. But I've always kept it with clean fuel and stuff like that. So I did a little picking here once I saw it. And it'll take a little bit to get it out, but just work at it. This has already been out once, but I put it back in just for show and tell. And it'll kind of piss you off. You'll start to think, oh, well, that's, just part of the tank molding or something like that. It's part of the whole thing. That's what I thought. There we go. So what we got is another screen. And do some sideways gangster action here with the phone. Blam, look at that sucker. So this thing was packed full of muck. The little metal shavings and everything. And that was restricting fuel flow also. So what I plan on doing is I'm just going to leave these goofy ass little screens out. There's no point in having them in there. Once they plug up, you have no easy way of cleaning them without tearing, the whole damn thing apart. And that's just not user friendly. So those are going to stay out. And almost sounded like a Canadian there when I said out. It's going to stay out. And you get to see my messy garage. I don't clean because it's a waste of time, and I already know where my stuff is. I'm just going to put a filter in line like this one on this little pit bike motor. Just a small paper filter. It'll be in here that you can, physically see what's in it and change, when you do your oil and stuff like that. So that's the long and the short of it. It's a lot of yapping, but it took me a while to kind of find that. I did a lot of, troubleshooting and stuff like that, but I didn't think that it was gonna be, a flow issue from the tank. I just assumed that, it's a couple, 2-3 years old. It's fine. It'll be fine. But in this case, it wasn't. I figured out it was something else after I pulled the carb apart and I cleaned the jets with carb spray, and then with well, what are they? Those little goofy jet pilot needles. These things for cleaning orifices and jets and stuff like that. So once I did that, I knew for sure it was clean, and I still had the issue where it would only run with the choke half or 3/4 on. So if you have a 56-200i or the newer orange one, I don't know if they're the same. They're the exact same, and you're having issues with it not wanting to run or surging, that could be your issue. So that's all I got, and I'm going to continue with this over the weekend and get it back up and running. Oh, here's one of the other things. As I was working on it, my ignition shutoff quit working. It would not shut off turning the knob anymore, and it basically is shut off by this little micro switch, and it sits in this assembly, I think, like right here. Focus. I have to give my phone some ADD meds or something because it won't focus. Right there, and when you turn it, there's a little cam that rolls around and hits it and shuts it off. Anyway, that's a lot of talking. What I'm going to do is just bypass it because I can't find it on the website anyway. And what I'm going to do is just put a drill a hole in my pristine panel of my Chinese generator and put a small on-off switch right here or somewhere. And I don't know, I have to give it a name. I don't know. Turn this switch on, pull cord for, some dank ass camping or something like that. I said bad words, I know, you'll get over it. Anyway, if you got one of these, that's what I found, and I hope it's helpful for you. Take care, and I'll do another video soon, maybe in a year.